Black and White Network supporters, make sure you go over and check out the Black and White Network merchandise store. 25% off USA First. 25% off USA First. Go now. I'm back. Rudrance for our Black and White Network. Let's talk about the New York governor race. You know, we are following some of these potential blue states that we kind of thought might be out of reach. You know, we watched a Virginia race last year earlier this year where we saw all of a sudden a Republican got voted in. Why? Because, well, Democrats decided to go after the children, which of course means they went after the families for indoctrination of things like CRT and some of the trans policies, the things they were pushing in the schools, and not wanting to let the parents have a say. Well, they messed around and got themselves a Republican governor because of that. And now we're starting to see things in Oregon, a race that was considered, a state that is radical, that seems completely out of reach. That's now a toss-up between Democrat Tina Kotek and Republican Christine Drazan. Well, now we've got New York. New York is officially in play. Why? Well, some of the polling is starting to come back that shows that people that back in August that leaned Democrat are now showing themselves to be a toss-up. Okay, why is that? Well, crime is one of the biggest things in New York. The other thing, my guess, would be insane COVID mandates that happened up there in that state. And people are not forgetting that, okay? People that I've said, they stand to lose. The people that are in the middle, the moderates that lean slightly left, they're going to lose those people, okay? Or at least they're going to lose a lot of them, all right? And because they're sitting back going, this just doesn't make any sense anymore. Criminals are getting arrested, they're getting released, and then they're committing more crime. I mean, what did you expect? They're freaking criminals. I mean, come on. So let's get to this. This is very interesting, and this is getting some steam. It's all over the place now. New York governor race between Governor Hochul and Representative Lee Zeldin tightens to a toss-up. Zeldin was down to Hochul by as many as 24 points in August. Interesting. New York gubernatorial race between incumbent Democrat Kathy Hochul and GOP challenger Lee Zeldin is now, quote, a toss-up. According to Real Clear Politics polling average, the polling outlet's rolling average of polls from September 30th to October 12th shows that Hochul is leading the Republican congressman by 5.3%, with 7% of the voters undecided on who they will vote for. Quote, we have just 24 days to go until we fire at Kathy Hochul and save our state. It's not too late for Hochul to come out of hiding and do multiple debates with me across New York, starting immediately, Zeldin said in a Twitter post, along with a graphic showing the race moving from lean Democrat to toss-up. The shifts in polls amounts to a significant comeback for Zeldin, who was down in the polls by as much as 24 points in August. Quote, it's a very competitive race. Pollster Doug Shine, I believe that's going to be Shine, I don't know, told the New York Post on Friday. The recent polling from Marist University showed that while Hochul has a lead over Zeldin, independent voters support Zeldin 49 to 35%. That's a damn landslide. With rising crime resonating with more and more voters, especially in New York City. Quote, although Democratic candidates for governor and U.S. Senate lead in a very blue New York, the race for governor still bears watching. Lee M. Maringhoff, the director of the Marist Institute for Public Opinion, said in a statement, Republicans say they are more likely to vote. Enthusiasm for Zeldin among his supporters exceeds Hochul's, and any shift to crime in the closing weeks will likely benefit Zeldin. Zeldin has promised to fire New York City's progressive district attorney Alvin Bragg. That would be a massive step in getting rid of one of the Soros prosecutors. Immediately upon taking office, after the George Soros-backed prosecutor has taken criticism for perceived soft-on-crime policies. There's nothing to be perceived there. That is factual. That is factual. He is pro-criminal, not pro-victim. Okay? Alvin Bragg is radical. He's a radical leftist. All right? Soros-backed. In the same way that you see people like Kim Fox and Cory Bush, Ted Wheeler, all these radicals, George Gascon out in L.A., that is a George Soros-backed political candidate and a political office holder. So absolutely keep that in mind. I mean, Soros is trying to wreck us. Quote, I'm not in this race to come in second. I'm all in. I'm over 18 months into the race, campaigning all through this entire state. Zeldin said earlier this month, one of the reasons why I got into the race was because of these pro-criminal laws that have been getting passed out of Albany. Hochul has criticized Zeldin on the campaign trail for his stance on abortion and has also attempted to link him to the personality and policies of former President Donald Trump, who held a fundraiser for the New York Republican in September. Linking him to Donald Trump is not a negative among Republicans and among a lot of independents. That's not a negative. So I hate to break it to Hochul, but that's not going to hurt Zeldin one little bit. Have you seen Trump's record of backing these candidates? It's a landslide. Campaign representatives for Hochul and Zeldin did not immediately respond to Fox News. New York, a historically deep blue state, has not had a Republican governor in 2006, and it was one of multiple blue states where polling suggests Republicans are making inroads in weeks leading up to elections. Polling shows that Oregon, where President Biden rallied Democrats over the weekend, could be on the verge of electing the state's first Republican governor in 35 years. Yeah, they're worried. They're worried. And so many of these candidates do not want Biden around them on the campaign trail. They don't want him at any events. Do not show up here. You are not welcome. You are politically toxic. I find that hilarious, by the way. That's so funny because normally candidates absolutely want if your president is in your party, they absolutely want that, okay? They were begging Obama to get out there and help them on Democratic campaign trails. Biden, no, they've pulled out a cross like he's effing Dracula, and they're pointing it at him. And that would be a good joke, except, unfortunately, so many Democrats have no longer support Christianity, so it's probably not a valid joke, which is one of our problems right now. Let's just be real about that, too. As a side note, this is getting very interesting. Oregon, radical Oregon, and now New York tightens up. I keep telling folks that come to this channel that people that are more centrist and more moderate are going to end up voting Republican. It's stretching into all avenues, radical leftist policies in schools, CRT. I mean, just everything you can possibly think of. A painting, a famous painting got destroyed over the last couple of days. Normal people see that and go, they shake their head. Yes, even some Democrats literally shake their head and be like, this is not the kind of thing I support. So that's why you're seeing things like this turning around. Hopefully, New York's going to be a tough sell. So's Oregon. But get out and vote. Get out and vote. Vote these SOBs out of office. It's that simple. You have the power to vote these assholes out. Plain and simple. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.